Closer and closer to kickoff we get, guys. Look, I'm optimistic. I feel good about the season, but there's just this one little pretty major thing that's still bothering me.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, how on earth are we all doing as we are now 2-3 days away from kickoff? Maybe it already is game day, depending on when you listen to this. But hey, regardless, thank you so much for making Locked On Spartans your first listen every single day. Now, it's not just going to be me babbling on and on about, God knows what this episode, but look, just before we introduce the guy, just by a show of hands in this room, who here is excited to talk about Michigan State football and also be a part-time therapist for the next 25 to 30 minutes? Oh, hey, it's Mike Jones of Can't Read, Can't Write. How on earth are we doing, man? We doing okay? Are we ready to maybe potentially calm down a full-grown adult about a college football team or no?
No, this is the time of the year where hope is at a fever pitch. I am like...
I know.
All I see is Kenneth Walker ripping off a 75-yard run. That's all I can see. So I'm here to help you get hurt.
We are in the twilight zone now of the offseason. Look, the first few weeks, months, were measured for the most part, taking a look at all the additions, the subtractions of the roster, in a measured lens, I like to think. We do a pretty good job. And then fall camp happens, Mike. We get the quotes, we get the notes, we hear all the buzz going on inside the football building, and it's hard not to have a twinkle in the eye about Michigan State football. But again, here we are, 72 hours removed from opening night here, and this is where it starts to creep in every single year. Those worries, those little things that, that could be a problem this year, but now, oh my God, could they stop us from all of our life's goals and dreams? And Mike, the one big thorn in my side right now, the reason I will be sleeping minutes, not hours, next few nights, look, it is the pass rush. I mean, I don't think that's any hot take. I don't think it's going to, take anyone super aback right now, but this is why. And it all starts with that 6-game streak last year, the infamous streak where they did not get a sack, the longest in FBS football for the last 25 years. It was not a great time. Last year, your Michigan State Spartans, 4th lowest sacks in the Big Ten. They got 19 sacks. But here's the rub here, Mike. 11 of them were in the first 3 games last year. There were 7 or 8 of them against FAU, depending on what box score you look at. But still, that's an FAU team that was replacing 4 offensive linemen from the year prior. And then you got a few against Maryland, who was replacing 4, if not 5 of their offensive linemen. And then Prairie View A&M is Prairie View A&M. So after those games, Mike, you got 8 sacks for the last 9 games. Does that inspire you? Have I scared you enough yet, or do you want me to keep going here?
Yeah, that's rough, particularly.
It's not great.
While I have hopes that they'll be excellent, it's not like we made any marquee pickups.
And that's where I go next, Mike Jones. Look, hey, they added some guys in the room. They brought a guy back from last year, Tyler Gillison. He didn't play at all. He was out with injury. Okay, they added David Santiago. I'm not going to take anything back that I said about this kid who was a redshirt freshman at Air Force last year. Thought he was a fine player, really strong finish to his year. Michigan State's going to need more than just fine, though, this year. We also got a guy, Anelu Lafayette, former 4-star out of the great state of Hawaii. Went to Wisconsin last year. Yep. No snaps. He's a redshirt freshman. We don't know anything about him. We have Isaac Smith from Texas Tech, who lost his starting role because he got hurt in the middle of last season and then never really regained that starting role for the Red Raiders, thus why he entered the transfer portal. And I got to say, Mike, a few weeks ago, I know what Jalen Thompson, your head in the dirt defensive end. It's not that I'm worried about. I'm worried about the stand-up edge guy. Jalen Thompson, when he was talking about the defensive line, said, you can't tell the difference between our 1s and the 3s. I know what he was trying to do. I know that he's trying to voice confidence and saying, hey, it's wide open competition. Everyone is balling out so far. But your 1s can't look like your 3s, right? Unless you're Ohio State's wide receiver room. In that case, then it's sick. Or like Notre Dame's offensive line room. Then hell yeah, everyone just looks like a future NFL player. I don't think that's the case with this room. And the fact that we are this close to kickoff and there is still no real separation of who's the for sure number 1, the for sure number 2. Mike, I am very worried about this pass rush. That was a lot of talking from me. Do you have any solutions? Do you want to hold me and tell me everything's okay? Are you optimistic? Are you actually going to agree that this could be catastrophic? Help me or hurt me.
Well, so let's start with Jalen Thompson's. Let's try and pretend there's a world where this is okay.
I like this. Okay. Yeah.
Jalen Thompson, we feel pretty good about. And where Jalen Thompson's quote was probably most true is at defensive tackle, where I do think we roll 5 or 6 deep there. And so if that front two, those two defensive tackles, can get meaningful pocket disruption,
sure,
that might be able to free up the Jalen Thompsons or our edge rushers to be able to wreak some additional havoc because they've pushed the quarterback in the direction. You're not having to bend as much around your tackle. That's my best attempt at spin here. But no, I don't think there's even a Kenny Willekes sleeping on this roster, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. But
Stone Chaney, the former walk-on, ain't doing it for you right now. He could.
Let's say even Lafayette is excellent. He's still a redshirt freshman.
Yes.
Even in adjusted terms, I don't think I would have. I would love to be wrong. But
same.
If you can get the quarterback moving, I think there's a world in which our secondary isn't left on an island quite as much as last year, despite maybe a rush end not being where we want it to be.
That did just a good enough job for me to get 2 hours of sleep tonight now instead of just 45 minutes. So we'll take that. We will. And look, there's a ton of things that we're going to look for Friday night. We're actually going to, do a fun little game later on called Does That Move the Needle for You? But right. Yeah. You like that? Yeah. A lot of thought put in this one. No, I actually do think this will be a fun and interesting outlook later on this show. Truly.
People should know you've told me nothing about this game. I'm finding out the name right now.
Correct. And we're going to get to it here in a hot second, but just when you think of yourself Friday night, whether you're just watching on Fox Sports 1, whether you're going to be in Section 19 like yours truly, that's right, got my tickets today. I'm very fired up. Right there in the corner of the lower bowl with my brethren. Cannot wait. What specifically are you just most anxious for, Mike? Because for me, I've talked about it here and there the last few shows. That first 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, I will be on top of my bleacher seat standing with bated breath, wondering if they're actually going to convert a short yardage situation against a group of 5 team, unlike many times last year, which telegraphed a lot of the issues with the run game. But is that where your mind goes? Are you anywhere else as to what specific moment you're just awaiting for Friday night?
Yeah, I think we literally talked about that. Spoilers for the pod, but on this week's episode, which is that I think what was it 2 years ago we played Akron and beat them 55-0.
Yes.
And we talked about on the pod after that game that we're not good. Despite 55-0.
If DJ Irons didn't get hurt, that could have been still a Michigan State win, but a sweaty Michigan State win, I think.
And you saw in that game we couldn't pick up a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1, and so.
No.
Look, I mean, I think there's two things that signal victory here. Do we convert on short yardage situations? And does no one get hurt? I think that's what we're playing for here. I hate to chalk up a W in advance, but if we don't get a W on this one, we got
other issues.
Wow. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I guess I think it'll be interesting to see how much the run pass distribution will be something else that I'm watching. I guess that would be the one other thing is we know we've got a loaded wide receiver room. I don't know how much they're going to tip their hand in game 1, but it'll be a complaint about the D'Antonio staff is that they didn't necessarily always evolve to the personnel that they had. I think you talked about last week or earlier this week about how we did seem to throw the ball more. I do think some of that was a consequence of losing so often or being behind. But I will be interested to see if Brian Lindgren and Jonathan Smith lean into the personnel that we think is excellent.
Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That is where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. So if you've been putting off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does all the heavy lifting. You can even link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet, guys. And hey, if you have a partner you want to track your finances with, Monarch Money makes that so simple to do for both you people involved. Guys, don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONCollege. And the NFL season is almost here, guys, and FanDuel is making sure that you are ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, I'm going to clear my throat for this one. You're going to get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app, guys. Hey, you know what? Let's say you can't wait for NFL season to kick off. There's some action going on Friday in Spartan Stadium. That's right. Michigan State, right now at the time of recording, 19.5-point favorites over the Broncos. If you think that they're going to light the world on fire, put up a bunch of points, they are going to steamroll Western Michigan. Guys, go ahead, get on the action over at FanDuel. The over-under right now, time of recording, 49.5 if you're feeling the under. You think it's going to be a defensive struggle. You think it's going to be nothing but fireworks. You want to take the over. Guys, the decision's up to you. FanDuel is going to have so many props, futures for NFL, college football, you name it. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. That's a great callback because, yeah, it was just about a 50-50 split run pass last year, and that's never been like that at Oregon State under Jonathan Smith. And that could, of course, be a few factors. One, they had the personnel to be a run-first offense, which is where Jonathan Smith wants to be. But also, two, I don't think Oregon State ever necessarily had a Nick Marsh. Like, they didn't have an arm like Aiden Childs. And yes, I understand he was there for his freshman year. I'm not going to count one series in the second quarter as, quote-unquote, having him. You get my point. Your strengths lie in the pass game. I think it will be a little bit more skewed for the passing game, but still trying to be run first. And that could go a variety of ways. I mean, you are blessed to now have speed in your slot receiver position, should you do our favorite jet sweeps. You do have a quarterback that can mobilize his legs. And that's also one thing I do want to see Friday, too, is, like, can you get a run game going without having to utilize Aiden Childs' legs on designed runs? Like, one or two won't kill you, but it can't look like the end of last season where it is, like, 8 or 9 chalked up runs for Aiden Childs. And, like, because look, it was very successful last year when they had design runs for Aiden Childs. If you need to have that part of your game to beat Western Michigan, again, that's going to spell larger problems down the future here. So that's just another thing that I just had. Do you have anything else that you want to just really hone in on for Friday? Or, hey, we're ready to uncork this game over here too, because a lot of it, most of it, all of it actually, is going to have to do with what we can and cannot see on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to see a little bit of everything. Like, I do want to see them put a couple runs on tape with Childs, only because you got to put it on tape for BC. Like, I do think there's some value in making them prep for everything.
Sure.
But I don't know. It should be a win. So, like, just make me feel good about the win. Don't make me. And I'm willing to accept a question mark in our kicking game. I'm willing to say, oh, this could be bad, but only because people should be coming back, right? Like, otherwise, I don't want to leave that game. I would rather find out we're bad later in the season.
Sure. What would move the needle for you, Mike Jones? And that's the game. What is going to move the needle for you on Friday? Because, we talk a lot about it on Locked On Spartans. We will talk about it for our pregame shows that you can't glean a lot from these kind of games. It's not that, Western Michigan's some hot dog water team. Like, that's still an FBS team. They'll put up a good fight, this and that. But still, you should be able to run. You should be able to stop their run. You should be able to get to the quarterback. So, if you do it, whoop-de-doo, that's what you're supposed to do. But, Mike, I got a list of things. Okay. Some of them are pretty drastic stats. And, if it gets up to it, would this actually move the needle for you? Just line item number 1, If Aiden Childs left this game 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles, does that move the needle for you? Or is that just, oh, ho-hum, that's what you have to do against Western? I just yawn.
Wait, gotta anchor on what's moving the needle. Like, what needle are we moving here? Because I'll say that does move the needle for me on, okay, Aiden Childs has grown up. There's a maturation that has happened here.
I think that's a great baseline for moving the needle. Something where you're either turn the TV off or you're walking away from the stadium and you think about it. Oh, interceptions. Oh. Like, just like that, that's where it starts. Now, it could get all the way to like, oh my God, we're actually going to be really good this year. But even just
I will.
I think to move the needle.
I would make note of that. I will asterisk. Was it him or was it the year before that someone should have had like 4 more picks because but the other team just kept dropping them? It might have been him last year.
It could have been last year, and it certainly was the case in the Boston College game a few weeks after the opener. He could have had 8 interceptions that night, but FAU, they also, if memory serves correct, had a few dicey situations. So yeah.
So I'm just gonna. I come on here and people probably think I'm a downer. I'm super psyched for football season, but like,
I'm sorry, but I just drag you into it. I'm sorry.
No. But like, so yes, it moves the needle for me. But if Western Michigan seems to not be able to catch an interception routinely, then I'm just willing to say there's caveats.
Okay. I think that's only fair. Yeah, because just like you said, with the Boston College game, like, yes, 3 interception game, not good. Still didn't even tell the whole story of the game. Like, it was, but it also like great moments too. Like, that was the true Aiden Childs roller coaster experience. And at that point, that's when I knew, like, oh, hell, these are going to be exciting games, if not for nothing else.
Yes.
So speaking of excitement, there's a very exciting player. We already know he's very exciting, but let's say Nick Marsh, 100+ yard receiving game. Does that move the needle for you at all? Are you already just a Nick Marsh disciple? Does that not even faze you if he has 100+ receiving yards right off the rip for 2025?
I mean, I'm open to it moving the needle, but not really. Like, I expect that to be a luck of the draw situation. Like, there should be enough talent at the wide receiver that it just happened to be Nick Marsh who got it, right?
I like that. Yeah.
So no. But I guess if your question was not about Western and about like through the first 4 or 5 games of the season, that someone was always 100+ yards, that would move the needle for me.
Gotcha. So let's say we carve through Western, we get through Boston College, Youngstown State. Omari Kelly's sitting at like 333 yards. Like that's moving. That's moving.
Yeah. Nick Marsh is at like 2, right? Because I do think there's a world in which one of them is going to benefit from the other, right?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
And so, yeah, if through 3 games we had at least 100+ yard receiver, that moves the needle for me for sure.
I like that. Get at least one Power 4 team in the mix here. Get like a sample size of 3 games, which, hey, if you don't think we're not going to overreact to that, you're out of your mind. But well, here's one that like could also be an issue this season. The running back room.
Yeah.
There's some fans out there, one could be talking right now, that like isn't entirely sold 100% on the room. I see the vision. I can see how it could work. But look, let's say they get out there and the running backs rush for 7+ yards per carry. Now, that's a big number. I will say last year against FAU, I believe they ran for something like 6.2 yards per carry. That was also a big number. It was also skewed by K-Ron Lynch-Adams' very long touchdown run. I think around 60 yards, but still, would 7+ yards per carry actually get you thinking, oh, maybe we actually do got a running back stable here on our hands, Mike?
No, and here's why.
Not the same.
Remember the Iowa game last year?
I do.
Remember how fun that was? How we
had a great time.
Oh, yeah. We're back.
Back.
Yeah, I'm gonna, unfortunately, and it's no disrespect, I'm gonna need a little bit more consistency. And it's, again, that's no shade on any of the running backs or the offensive line. I do think if the offensive line is as good as maybe we hope it will be, that the running backs could at least perform well enough. But no, that's not going to do anything for me.
When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with SupplyHouse. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. Guys, if you need parts fast for a project, SupplyHouse. It's that easy. SupplyHouse has next day delivery. Talk about a game changer, and their Trademaster perks like priority shipping, dedicated support. They make the whole process so much smoother. Join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like, again, priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com today to sign up for free. Use promo code SHCollege5, all one word, SHCollege5, for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. It's real people, real service. Again, guys, over at SupplyHouse. I'm going to be with you here, actually, because like 7 yards per carry is an egregiously high number, no matter who you're playing, of course. I mean, that is a mighty fine game. That
it might say more about Western, though, right, than us.
It kind of like how it said more about FAU last year. And I don't know how many people were betting the Owls the rest of the season, but that season did not go well in Boca Raton for Tom Herman's team the rest of the way. I think that was a pretty flawed team down there. But look, I think it would literally have to be 4-5 games of just routine, good, consistent running. If you leave that first 2-game road trip, USC, Nebraska, and are still running at 4.7 yards per pop, then you got that's how long in the season, that's how jaded I am after last year and the year prior. It's going to take for me to get to trusting that, hey, we actually have it, guys. We have a run game this year. That's great.
Yeah, because there's still questions about BC, right? Western, you're playing a MAC team that was bad against the run last year. Bad. And then BC, I think there's a ton of question marks. And then I just don't know how much value you can take out of Youngstown State. So what are we doing here? I know.
It's a wait and see grade. I know, which pains me. I'd like to overreact to everything, and we still will.
Yeah, you've got to produce content 5 days a week. You'll talk about it.
Look, everyone knows that. I can't be held accountable for what I say 24 hours after a game, win or lose. That's just everyone knows that rule. But right now, as I'm just hanging on to any shred of just common sense, rationality right now before the ball kicks, it will have to be a while until I fully trust things now. Yeah, catch me out of Mekhi Frazier. Mekhi Frazier goes 68 yards to start. You're talking different, but
yeah. I guess there's a world in which you see it and it feels different. But weirdly, picking up 3 yards on a 3rd and 1 means more to me than I don't care how many long runs you rip off.
Yes,
and that's just where we're at.
All right, switching sides of the ball here.
Yep,
10 sacks. 10 sacks from our defense. 10 sacks from our defense. Does that move the needle? Does that just erase all the issues, all the worries that you could possibly have about this defensive line? They don't even have to come from the edge rush position. They could come from corner, safety, linebacker. I don't care. But does 10 do it for you, Mike?
The thing about some of these counting stats is that I think that says more about Western than it does about us.
Because FAU last year, again, different box scores. It was either 7 or 8, depending on what box score you looked at. But that was a lot of sacks given up by the Owls last year.
Yeah. So, that's and this is the problem with Kirk Cignetti's strategy, right? You don't know who you are.
Oh, until Halloween, right?
Yeah, maybe but yeah. I think we thought we were in a different place by a lot last year. And then we go on to break a 20-year-old record. So no, I guess it moves the needle in the sense that there's a level of competency there. You told me we finished 4th worst in the Big Ten. Actually, though, I'm curious, where did we finish in the Big Ten on Big Ten season sacks? Were we last?
Oh, well, it was 8 sacks, so I'm just going to blindly assume absolute last place. Okay. There's no way anyone did worse than 8, right? Northwestern maybe? I don't know. But
yeah, I guess it'd be nice to pick up 12 in conference play. But anyway, no, that's not going to do anything for me. So
I would like to issue a correction too. We were 3rd worst last year. I apologize to Washington, who I slotted above us. They also played an additional game. So they got 20 sacks. We had 19. Just behind us, Wisconsin with 17. And then Maryland had 14 sacks last year. That is Disgraceful. I know we're throwing stones in a glass house right now, but that is disgraceful to have 14 sacks on a season. There are some players in FBS football, I think, that had 14 sacks last year. But whatever.
Moxley's gone.
It would have to be, I think, literally 14 sacks. I'll use that number. 14 sacks on Friday night for me to think okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna rush the quarterback this year. We're actually gonna see what color the quarterback's eyes are during a game. This is gonna be very exciting. It's got to be some absurd, stupid number for me to actually start thinking. That's how in the dumps I am about this whole situation.
Yeah, it's the negative 42 rushing yards for Michigan. If it's yes, but if you put that performance up against Western, I'm still gonna have a little asterisk on it. But that would be okay, we're cooking. We're cooking.
Okay. Now we already talked about the run issues. We talked about the sack issues and the quarterback pressure issues. How about the most injury-plagued room in the entire country, our kicker room? Because our first guy's groin has fallen off the bone like pulled pork. Tariq Ahmed-Basek, who I assume I'm saying at least somewhat correctly, he's game time decision for this game. We might be having to go to Blake Sislow, who played for 3 years at Davenport, never saw game action, took a year off, tried out for Michigan State, and now it could be all on his foot. So
Did you hear Smith's quote about him today?
I talked about it on yesterday's show about the Jonathan Kim numbers and how they're kind of close to him. That's great. And look, I know college kicking's a fickle game. You could be a 9-star kid out of high school and never have any impact in any game that you ever play in. Or you could be the 6th best ultimate Frisbee player that they just pulled in before the game starts. And then, oh my God, he actually is one of the best kickers in program history. I get there's variance with pedigree and everything, but Jonathan Kim's competing for an NFL job right now, and Mr. Sislow, which I feel so bad. I've been just basically dragging this kid. Congratulations, maybe he is a good kicker. That is a bridge too far in my imagination to kind of connect that dot right there. Am I just the most negative Nancy in the world, Mike, or
no? Because
something to that. I feel stupid asking that question.
What was Kim's? Maybe it wasn't last year, but it was the year before. But didn't Kim have some insane percentage from 50+ yards? But from
one of the few guys that were trotted out at 50+ yards too, which is something to be said.
But 35 to 45, he was mid, and then he was money from inside. He was money from inside.
Cash, yeah,
but,
right.
But yeah. I'm just wondering what yardage is Mr. Sislow kicking from.
I like this actually.
Because sure, maybe you didn't have you're not clocking him from Jonathan Kim distance. What are we doing here? So, but you know what? Look, if he's money from inside, then he's money from inside. And honestly, for this team, I think obviously we need to convert more touchdowns in the red zone. But if you can walk away with 3 and with your Davenport didn't even sit a year on purpose transfer,
I know.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be mean either, Mr.
I feel bad slandering the kid, but that is literally his bio. We are here to present facts, and that's the facts. Now maybe Jonathan Smith is also presenting facts. I just don't find them believable necessarily. Or maybe incredibly cherry picked. Hey, from 39 yards on the left hash, he kicks at 80%, where Jonathan Kim last year kicked at 78%. So buckle up, everyone. It's going to be okay.
This felt like a Tom Izzo quote. Tom Izzo would be he's like Magic Johnson. It's Tom.
Tommy, come on. He's the best passing freshman since Magic.
Yeah.
Which, God, love you, Tommy. This is the last one I got, though.
All right.
Sislow walks out there. Ahmed-Basek, Ahmed Basic. TA, we'll call him TA for this exercise here. Trots out, first quarter, 47 yards on the hash. That thing sails through the uprights. Does that move the needle for you? Okay.
I don't think it means I don't think it means that he's money, but it does mean he can make that kick, and that they felt comfortable enough sending him out there to do it.
Okay.
So,
and he did it in front of 75,000 strong. That's going to be a sellout. That ain't going to be a practice field with just your closest family and friends all watching those kicks. How about 37 yards? Let's move it up 10 yards. Does that do it for you? 37 yards.
37. So what's that's from the
27.
27?
Yeah.
Wait, no, because you got to move it back 7 yards also for the place, right?
Yeah, so like ball snapped at the 20, they snap it back to the 27, so 37-yard field goal. Is that doing it for you at all?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, that tells me that they're not. I guess give me the score. Like, I hate to be, because if they're like, if we're up and it's like, yeah, let's give them a rep.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't do much for me.
Can I add this actually? Because in my heart of hearts, like, how does it look? Is it going end over end? Like, is it getting to the net? Or is this thing like a knuckleball? Does this thing look like a pheasant that someone just shot out of air and by the grace of God, it bounced off the crossbar and just trickled in? Like, if this thing actually looks aesthetically pleasing, which I hate to boil it down to something so simple, that'll be a big breath taken. Oh my God.
Sound.
The relief in row 44 of section 19 is going to be heard around the world. That's going to be
people are going to find you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure all sorts of nice things to be said. It's okay. I'll be the guy buried under all the Little Caesars boxes over there. Oh my God, I cannot wait.
What's your
most? Sorry. Go ahead. This is a more fun question.
No, I was going to ask you. Does Little Caesars in the stadium move the needle for you, or are you comparing it to the Little Caesars that you get at home?
No, I do not care.
Same.
Nope, Stadium Little Caesars is just as good as Little Caesars back home. It's different, but it's just as good. Okay. What is the most I could spend on a slice and have it be like socially acceptable? $10, because I'm willing to go up to $12 per slice. Like, no questions asked.
Question for you, Matt. You're a professional podcaster. Is that a business expense?
It's gonna have to be. Like, we're sending those receipts to Mr. Locked On, and we're going to see what money comes back. That's a really good point.
I think.
Really good point.
Yeah, I think you might arguably be able to write that off. Okay. Even if Mr. Locked On won't cover it, you can do it as a business expense. You're there as a reporter. I'm guessing they're going to be more than 12 for a personal pan pizza.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. That's fine. I'm paying literally whatever it is going to be there. Like, so Jay Bat, if he's listening, $50. Yeah, I'm there. So,
well, are they going to keep the walking taco though? Like, I enjoyed the walking taco.
Ooh, that's got to be one of the staples they keep around, right? Melting Moments, walking taco stays. I hope the coffee and the hot chocolate that's served at 700 degrees Fahrenheit, that has to stay. Like, that's a Spartan Stadium staple. Like, I want my. What's the thing in the back of the throat? I want that thing fighting for its life in the third quarter on Friday. So, yeah.
Uvula?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at wow, jack of all trades over there, Mike Jones. Mike, can't thank you enough for your time, your insight, your knowledge, your therapeutic reasoning, and just being a shoulder to panic on, as always. Guys, he does great work over at Can't Read, Can't Write. Just 1/3 of the beautiful trio over there. You guys do fantastic work. Already excited to listen to your episode tomorrow on my commute, because I got to say, that's a dull commute until I throw you guys on, and like, I'm laughing out loud to myself in the truck. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, the amount of audible laughs out loud that I share, way more than any other podcast that I listen to. So thank you very much for your work, Mike. And guys, hey, thank you all for listening, for watching, for just being yourselves. We are getting closer to kickoff. Someone hold me. But until then, hey, take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Love you all. Go green.
Go white.